Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure to hit that subscribe button down here.
We know it's been some time, you guys, since we've made a video for you guys. So today we're going to do a sit-down video to talk to you guys about where we've been, what's been going on. And this video we're hoping is going to help some of you guys. It might not help some of you guys, but you'll understand what we mean right now. So, back it up a little bit. The reason why we have been so MIA for some time was because since the month of September started, I got a new job, and since we went back to work, we both work with kids. So once the kids go back to school,
the schedule
changes and everything is just different. And yeah, I mean, the time that we've had together has been less than usual. We only see each other
a few times during the week,
weekends.
mainly weekends. During the weekdays a little bit, but mainly weekends.
Yeah, and since we're like, we don't have much time, and like the time we have, even though we love to be with you guys and like make videos for you guys and hopefully make your guys' day, we also need time for ourselves, and filming and editing and posting. It all takes advertising the video. It takes a lot of time. I don't know if you guys realize it takes like a long time, and we love doing it, but we needed to just take a little break on that to see each other, get to know our schedules, be more familiar with our schedules. But now that we're back, we actually wanted to make a video for you guys a couple of weeks ago, and then something else happened in our life that has been getting in the middle of that. You want to explain what it is?
Yes. So today's video, we'll be talking to you about our experiences, because they're different. Our experiences with anxiety and how it affects our daily lives and how it has affected us, and like what's happened to us in the past couple weeks that we think might be relatable to some of you. And you know, if we can help you guys in any way, reach out to us, let us know. We've had anxiety for a very long time, her longer than I have, but we've both experienced different levels of it, and we know a lot of you out there also experience anxiety, and a lot of people don't talk about it, and we're open about it. So if you have any questions at the end of the video, feel free to reach out to us. And but for now, we'll start off and tell you about what's been going on these past couple of days, past couple of weeks, and really what we're doing to try to help ourselves and make ourselves better.
I had no idea what anxiety meant, and I hope many of you also, when you think of anxiety, it just means like, oh, you're nervous, or
like I'm anxious, I'm just nervous, you're so anticipating something, and you don't know how to react to it, or you're nervous.
And even though that might be a slight bit of what it is, anxiety is such a big, like, it's just this huge, big, unknown concept that there's so much that can happen within anxiety. So I want to say when I began having anxiety was when I started college. So back in 2013, when we finished high school. I'm fortunate that in high school I was so busy with sport, with basketball. We were always active. We had no time for anxiety. We'd go to school, and then we'd have 4 hours of practice, and then by the time we got home, it was like homework, sleep, do it all over again. So when you're busy and you're active and you're keeping yourself in a routine, it's kind of hard to have anxiety because...
Sorry to interrupt, but plus we were younger, so we didn't have as much responsibility that we do now. So I think a lot of the responsibility, as you get older, you gain more responsibilities and you have more things to take care of, that I think that also makes it easier for anxiety to sneak its way in, because you have so much going on, but at the same time, other triggers that you may not be aware of.
Yeah, so... like she mentioned, in high school, we had no responsibilities. I mean, we had some, but like financially, academically, they weren't as high as they are when you get older. So once I went into college, you know, I was not working out 4 hours a day. I was not remaining that routine. College was every day like a different day, every day there was a different time, there was a different place you needed to be, a different assignment. There was no type of routine whatsoever. It was kind of random. And then coffee comes into play, and then, you know, we started having more caffeine, which, you know, less sleep, and all of these little things, which you think are little things, but they're big changes that you make to your schedule, that you make
and
to your body. Exactly. You just start changing. So I mean, I was ashamed to say it, but I will share with you guys, I gained so much weight in college. Like they
we gained so much
say
weight.
we gained so much weight in college. It was like freshman 15, they say.
But times 2 probably.
Ours was probably times 2. Yeah, and we gained so much weight that contributed to our overall well-being. That's when anxiety came into play and was like, I'm here, like, you don't know who I am, but this is who I am. And it changed everything for me. Like, I started driving, and when I began driving, I used to have these like horrible experiences where if I went anywhere over 60 miles per hour, I would just get this like adrenaline that would come to my head, and I'd have to close my eyes. And I would close my eyes as I was driving. And I remember it happened one time when I was with you, and she was in the passenger seat, and you were like, what are you doing? Like, and you didn't have anxiety yet.
I didn't have it yet, so I didn't understand. I was just like, I know you're not feeling well, but like you're driving, like, not right now type of thing.
Like, and she thought like it could just easily like set to the side, like, don't deal with it right now. But the thing that a lot of people don't understand is sometimes you don't ask for it to come, it just happens, and you're like, what do I do? You know, what am I doing? And the only thing that would help me feel better was when I'd close my eyes and it would go away. Obviously I can't close my eyes when I'm driving. I'm gonna hurt the people around me. And
I actually never experienced that until this summer. This summer, I would be driving again on the freeway, and out of nowhere, I would feel like I need to just press the brake.
Yeah.
And that was my reaction. I wouldn't close my eyes, but I wanted to slow down because I felt like I wasn't in control anymore. Because you feel all this adrenaline, and a lot of it is mind games. A lot of it is like you're thinking about your driving, and you're like, I'm driving, and like for a while, for a long time, Ashley used to say like, you don't get it. And now I understand, because in the summer, I explained it the same way. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. I'm just looking ahead, and I just see like a long, never-ending freeway, and I feel like I'm never going to get like to my destination, and I would just get overwhelmed about that. I would start freaking out about it.
Yeah. And then some, you know, I would explain it to like my parents, and they would, again, they don't understand. It's like, well, you just keep going. Just know nothing is going to happen. And it's like, well, in that moment, you don't know how to react. You don't know what to do in order for it to stop. And now as I'm getting older, we're understanding that it's about how you cope with it. Like, the first thing I thought is something's wrong with my brain. Like, something is mentally wrong. Something's inside that I can't do anything about it. Like, I need help, right? And I don't know how many doctor's visits I had. I went to the doctor endless amount of times thinking like something's wrong. Or, and then I started having chest pains where this side of my arm would start hurting a lot, and it would kind of trickle down here, and I'd start feeling like numbing. My hands would tickle, and the first thing you think is like, oh my gosh, I'm having a heart attack.
You think the worst. Whenever you don't feel like yourself, you feel like the worst is happening.
Yeah, and honestly, just bringing it to life, like letting people know. I very quickly like realized, okay, this is what I have, and I'm not going to hide it. And I would tell like my professors in college. So I would tell them like, I'm going to sit back here, but it's not because I would tell them before class, obviously not in front of everybody, but I would tell them like, oh, I'm sitting back here because when I'm up front and I'm too close, I get very anxious, and I really feel like I'm just going to pass out. So I sit towards the back, and I'm still listening. And I don't like the eyes to be directed on me. When I feel the attention is on me, I all of a sudden want to just shut down, or like I want to fall over, like just
you want to hide,
and fall to the floor.
When you would do speeches too, wouldn't you like announce it before you would start? Like, sorry, like, I have anxiety.
Sometimes where I wasn't feeling prepared and I knew I can easily freak out, so let me announce it. And I would make that announcement, and letting people know your truth. Some people are going to look at you like, oh, she's weird, or oh, she's a freak, and that's their problem, because they're not educated on what anxiety is.
They're lucky that they don't have to deal with it, and they don't have to experience it.
It's a privilege to not have to deal with anxiety. It's us making it, like, letting people know that this is what it is, and just because you don't know what it is, you're opening people's minds to other things that people have and how you can help them. So I would tell them if I stutter, or if I start sweating, or if I have to walk out for a second, it's not because something is wrong with me. It's just because I need to regain my thoughts. I need to take a deep breath.
Reset yourself.
It's easy to feel like everything is just going downhill, and you just have to remind yourself like, nope, just keep going. Like,
I
you're
think
fine.
the easiest way to put it is just you just feel like you're not in control, or you feel yourself losing control.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to kind of gain control in that moment.
Yeah.
And I think it takes time to learn how to switch it. Yeah.
And I appreciated Cynthia so much in college because even though you didn't understand like what it was, you were still a really supportive girlfriend. You never once were like I don't want to be with you,
like
because
you're fine, like just get over it. I didn't understand it, but I knew it.
But you also didn't make me feel weird, is what I'm saying. You didn't make me feel different. You still like let me know I'm still here for you, whatever you're feeling.
Yeah.
And I used to tell her like, I hope you never have to deal with this because it's horrible. And you used to be like, yeah, me neither. But then within the years, I kind of learned to deal with it better. I started exercising a lot more. I started drinking a lot more water and less coffee, less soda, less caffeine. I've never let go of chocolate because I love chocolate. But it's like a balance, you know. You have to. I started realizing when you eat better and you are more active, and you know, some people are like, oh, let's just go grab some coffee. Let's just go grab coffee. Like, for me, it's like I really have to debate, like, should I drink coffee? Should I do that? Because if I do that, I might easily become super anxious. So caffeine, it's actually very easy to, it's not easy, don't get me wrong. It's hard to eliminate it, but it's possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible. That's something that we both really need to eliminate.
Work on and eliminate it completely, because it's going to do us better if we're not intaking any of it at all. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. We're going to put a quick pause on this really quickly. Did you guys notice my baby got a new hairstyle? Look at how beautiful she looks. She got rid of the blonde, and she's like digging new caramel fall vibes. What do you guys think? I think she looks beautiful.
Thank you.
So pretty. Sorry, I just wanted to show her off to you guys for a second. But yeah, so what were we saying? For people who like us, that our parents have from the beginning, they don't just like give it all to us. Like, they really make us work for what we have. So we wanted to live on our own.
Which we're thankful for.
Which we're thankful for. We're very thankful for that. Because we've developed skills that not everybody has, you know. If you guys, well, that's a whole different other story. But basically, we've been fortunate enough to develop those skills. Like, if you want something, you have to go out there and you have to get it and you have to work for it. But that also means a lot of responsibility. Mm-hmm. We want a car, we want to travel, we want to move out, we want to do this, we want to do that. You have to go and do that. Obviously, our parents have helped us, but for the majority of the part, since we were 18, we've had to do that on our own. So I think throughout the years, we've gotten better, but it's still, I think right now might be the worst that it's been for you.
For me.
Yeah.
I think towards my last year, my senior year of college, is when I started experiencing different types of anxiety, where I'd be in class and my heart would start racing, and I was like, what the heck is happening? Like, I'm fine. Like, what's happening? My heart would start racing, so then I'd get nervous, and then I'd feel like I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I'd have to, like, clear my throat to kind of, like, snap out of it, drink some water. And then that started, and then to the point where now it's at its worst. And I think this started like a year ago. I think a year ago. Mm-hmm. It started.
That's definitely a year ago. We said it at the same time.
Yeah, it has to be a year ago then.
Yeah.
Where I don't even know, like, how to explain it, but it was just like I've experienced different forms. Like, a year ago, I would get several like panic attacks where I'd be sitting in my living room watching TV maybe, or on my phone, and then out of nowhere, my heart would just start racing faster and faster and faster, to the point where I thought, like, I'm having a heart attack only because I was sitting down and my heart started racing. And then sometimes I wear like a Fitbit, and you know, it monitors your heart rate. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I'd be wearing it and I'm literally sitting on a couch, and my heart rate would be like over 100, and I'm like, what's happening? Because I'm just sitting down, and I would have to run up and go out. And I remember realizing like, this is bad, when I went to like wake my mom up one day. Mm-hmm. And I remember running to the room and like waking my mom up, like I don't feel okay, like my heart is racing. And I never really like talked about anxiety too much with my family, just because I knew they wouldn't understand, because luckily none of them experience it. And I've asked them, and they say like, no, like they can't relate. Mm-hmm. And so I wouldn't really talk to them about it, just because I didn't want to feel like I wasn't taken seriously.
And that's the problem. You don't mind me cutting you off. A lot of people a lot of teenagers, a lot of children, even like I work with really young children, children from the age of 1, 2, 3, young, very young, right? Teenagers, young adults. They don't come to their parents to explain how they feel about what's going on because you feel like your parents are not going to understand. At the end of the day, is making sure somebody tells you it's okay. It's gonna be okay.
But in
what
a
can
way,
I do?
In a way, yeah, like that.
Yeah,
in
like
a way
what can
where,
I do to help you?
Where they just reassure you that it's okay, but not in a way that it makes you feel like you're
Yeah.
crazy, like you're fine.
Yeah.
Because when you put it that way, it doesn't help. It kind of might even escalate the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody that's listening right now and you've never experienced anxiety, but you maybe know somebody that does, like coming from people that want this from others when we're not feeling ourselves, I think the best way or the best thing to do is to say like, you're okay.
Yeah.
What can I do to help you? And then that way that person can let you know what helps them because everyone copes differently.
Might even just be allowing them to cry and you being there like patting their back like it's gonna be okay, or holding their hand like, hey, like you're fine. Like I sometimes when I'm having anxiety and I don't want to talk about it, I just have to be like squeeze my hand, just squeeze it, and it helps to be like, okay, like ground yourself. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this term, grounding yourself. It means both of your feet are on the floor, your hands are either on the table. That's what I've heard the best is on the table, so that you know you're planted, you're grounded, right? And once, thank you for showing my hands. Once you have those two things, listen around you. I hear two things. So right now I hear a bird chirping, my nails right on the table. Smell two different things.
What's one thing you taste?
One thing you taste, you know.
Four things you can touch.
4 things you can
and
touch.
5 things you can see.
And 5 things you can see. So it's just getting like a variety of things to use all your senses. So make sure your senses are all there. You can still hear, you can still smell, you can still see, and you can still feel. And by the time you're done with all of those little things, counting, feeling, etc., your mind has completely forgotten about how you were feeling, that you were shutting down, that your mind was ready to be shut down because it's so busy doing all of the other things that you're like, hey, I'm fine, I'm here, like I'm still here. And like we mentioned, if any of you have ever experienced it that bad, you understand, like you understand how severe it can get and how you just want to feel like you're okay. And honestly, I think that would be one of the best solutions to getting grounded. But yeah, I mean, that's some of the things that we've done. Do you want to share with them what happened to you about a week ago?
Yeah, what happened 2 weeks ago. I actually felt like something serious was happening. I felt like I was having a heart attack, and that by far has been the worst experience I've ever had. I was at home. It was 10 something in the morning. I was cleaning. I was like vacuuming. I was just trying to clean, and all I had to do was take a shower and get changed, and I was gonna head out to go to work. And I had other stuff to do. I was gonna run an errand, and I don't know if my mind got busy or I don't know what, but aside from that, it was really hot that day as well. It was over 90 degrees. And I mean, I had the air conditioner on, and if I'd feel like I was having trouble breathing, I would stand in front of the AC, and for the most part, it would help. But in a quick amount of time, like, I just felt like I couldn't breathe, so I ran.
It's panic.
Yeah, so I panicked, and I ran across to the AC, stood right in front of it, and even with the AC in my face, I couldn't breathe. And I tried to control my breathing. I like did that, but nothing would happen. Like, I would do that, and I felt like my chest just completely locked. I felt like my heart began to race. I felt like no air was coming in and out. I don't even know what else I felt, because I just felt like
Panic.
This is the end.
Panic.
I just panicked. It was like, this is the end. I felt frozen, but I knew I couldn't stay there, because my thing was, if I stay here and something happens to me, like, I'm done, because no one's gonna know about it till hours later when they get home. So I live in an apartment complex, and luckily my grandma lives downstairs. So I ran out the door, and then my grandma's door was locked, so I had to yell, like, tell her that I didn't feel good. In that moment, another neighbor heard and was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I can't breathe, and my chest is hurting." And like, obviously, if you're able to talk, you're able to breathe. But you don't, in that moment, you don't think that. You just think, I can't breathe on my own. So the neighbor came out to help. I went into my grandma's house and I sat down and I was trying to calm down, and eventually after a while, like, I kind of started breathing a little better, and I I got myself to de-escalate a little bit.
But she still went to the ER.
But it was on and off from that point because my nerves were already like on edge, that I would like just start thinking about the way I felt like 10 minutes ago, and it would start happening again because I'm like no, I don't want to ever experience it again. And so in that moment, it would start, my heartbeat would start racing again, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And so I it was the first time that I ever like said out loud, like, call 911, like, because I don't feel good. And you know, luckily we didn't have to, it didn't get to that extreme. I was able to wait for somebody to come pick me up and take me to the emergency room, and you know, they had already done.
And I was at work and couldn't take her.
Yeah, that was her first day of work. It was her first day on the job, and I felt bad, but you know, sometimes her voice is the only thing that helps too, because I know she understands me. So sometimes just talking to you, like, really just brings me down and kind of helps me ground myself. But that's how I knew it was bad, because even when I called you, I'm like, hold on, like it's happening again. Like,
yeah,
I can't
and
breathe.
I think that's the difference between a panic attack and an anxiety attack. A panic is, that's it. The world is ending, and that is it. And nobody is going to change your mind. But that is up to us to stop that and to be able to put our foot down and really cope with it, and how you're going to cope with it, because ultimately nobody has ever died from a panic attack ever. And
just out of fear, I asked the doctor when I went to the emergency room, in case any of you like are worried about this too. I asked, like, because when you're having a panic attack or when you're having anxiety, your heart rate elevates, your blood pressure elevates. Is it possible to cause, like, can you cause yourself a heart attack because of this anxiety, or because of a panic attack? And you know, like, people that don't understand, I mean, he laughed, but then luckily he told me, like, listen, like, you're really young, but anxiety will never lead to a heart attack, he said. But if a 50-year-old or 70-year-old person comes in because of a heart attack can lead to anxiety, because they're going to be nervous about having a heart attack again.
Right.
So he clarified that no, a panic attack or anxiety. So no matter how you feel in that moment, although you may feel like you're going to die, like, you need to tell yourself, like, you're not. Like, you will be okay, and you need to ground yourself, because you're not, the worst is not going to happen. The worst is not going to happen.
It's not.
And you just really need to reassure yourself. And so a little comment like that just from the doctor, like, kind of just gave me like a clarity. And then she...
Well, so that's the whole reason we wanted to make this video, was we're like, we didn't realize how bad this had gotten, and then this happened to her, so we're like, okay, we're definitely going to do this video for you guys. We're going to explain what it is that happened.
We had already talked about it.
And we already talked about it. And then a couple days ago, I actually experienced a really bad one. So I woke up in the morning with a slight bit of a headache already. Later on at work, it developed into a migraine. I took a couple of Excedrin pills, and then it went away. But about lunchtime, I started to get really nauseous. I started feeling like seasick, like kind of like I was on a boat. I was rocking back and forth.
Off balance.
I felt very off balance. So then I started looking things up online, which, you guys, does not help. You look it up online and they're like, you
don't
have cancer,
diagnose yourself.
You're gonna die. Like, don't diagnose yourself. You're not a doctor.
I do that myself. Shout out to Grey's Anatomy for freaking me out about all these things.
She still does, but
I still do that. I still look everything up.
It's not helpful for you to do that. So again, felt like I was gonna tip over. I kind of felt like this was heavier than this side. I did feel a little bit of weakness in my legs. I felt some uncomfortableness here and tender, which couldn't come from anxiety. So on the way home, I had actually called a nurse from my doctor, and the nurse called me back by the time I was getting home, and she asked me a series of questions. After the end of the question, she asked me, like, she said, how are you feeling right now? And I, answered her truthfully. And she said, okay, well, after we're done with this conversation, I want you to call 911, because the way that you're feeling right now, you're having really high symptoms of something that can be very dangerous. Hearing that was, okay, I have a professional that's telling me that I'm not okay. Something is gonna happen to me right now. Like, I felt like I was on there was a timer, and when that timer ran out, I was gonna die. So I started crying. You know, I looked out for support. I was like, where's my mom? Cynthia was barely on her way from work. So I called Cynthia. She was racing from work to get to me as soon as possible. Luckily, she only works about 15 minutes from me. By the time she got to me,
so with traffic at traffic hour, it took a long time.
Right, but so this lady was so persistent, like, I'm gonna call you back in 5 minutes to make sure that you've called 911. So she called me back in 5 minutes. I was like, no, like, I have not called. I'm just actually waiting for my girlfriend to get home. She can take me. And it was like, no, like, you don't have time. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, what is going on? Like, number one, honestly, the saddest part is we could be dying, and I don't know about you guys, but I worry about how much am I gonna have to pay for the ambulance bill. I don't have that kind of money to have to pay for that ambulance. So no, like, I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna see how long this could take. Luckily, she ended up getting to my house within like 25 minutes. Yeah. And she took me as fast as she could. It still took like a half hour to get there.
So an hour after she called me was when we finally made it to
so like
the
an
hospital.
hour later, you know, they ran a bunch of tests. They did a CT scan on my brain to make sure that everything was okay in my brain, that I didn't have any type of internal bleeding or any tumors. They did a EKG, yeah. And basically, to sum it all up for you guys, I spent $100 to go to the doctor for nothing, plus the parking. So it was like about $125, $130, and my whole night basically there, because I was anxious. And
But not all of it was anxiety.
Not all of it.
You can't blame it on that.
No, it's not all of it.
You got anxious because of the nurse. You got anxious because of the symptoms you were feeling, because you also thought it was something bigger. Right. But what it was and what it comes down to is that you need to take care of yourself. We need to take care of ourselves. Yeah. So you need to make sure that you are getting enough sleep. I'll share this with you too, what the doctor told you about the sleep. He said that you need 8 hours because the first 6 hours of sleep are for your body to recuperate, for your body to re-energize. But the last 2 hours, he said, are the most important because that's for your mind, that's for your brain. That's when you have dreams, that's when your mind kind of unwinds. And without those 2 hours, so she was only sleeping 5-6 hours, she was never getting those last 2 hours of sleep.
4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours. She was never getting those last 2 hours of sleep. So her mind, her brain, her head was not relaxing. It was just building and building and building. So what she had was tension, stress, exhaustion, and it was all that was causing these other symptoms, which then triggered her anxiety. Right. So it wasn't just because of anxiety, but anxiety always plays a role when you're like a victim of it.
And it takes over you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, after that, I realized like, wow, like I was going to share with them, the funniest thing is when we were in the hospital,
I know what you're gonna tell me.
We were in the hospital, and he wasn't gonna do the EKG, and I had made a comment to him, like, and I was emotional, like, I was tired, I was hungry, I was feeling all these types of ways, like, what's going on with me, and I told the doctor, like, oh, would you mind doing an EKG just to make sure everything is going okay? And the doctors always hesitate, like, we don't really need to. He didn't, but he was very nice, but I told him, like, listen, like, I haven't had children, I haven't gotten married, like, I haven't lived yet, like, I've done a lot, don't get me wrong, but like, I really need to make sure that I'm okay. And like, I kind of said it with like some tears, and he was just like, okay, don't worry, like, we'll do this for you. So at the very end, once they had my CT results, they had my EKG results, he came in the room all confident, right? And he was just like, what did he say? He was like,
he gave her the summary, and at the end, he's like, so you're gonna be okay. He's like, so don't worry, you'll be able to have those babies, and you'll get married,
that wedding of yours.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, like, it's not even happening anytime soon. But like, just like to get that feeling of like, okay, you really are okay. Like, you are young, you are healthy, you could be healthier, of course. All of us could be healthier in some type of way. We can all adjust the way that we're living to make sure we live longer and happier lives. But you're okay. Like, you're gonna be fine. And knowing that, having your health is, I think, the most important thing in the world. Forget money. Forget about all those other things in life that are materialistic. Your life, nobody can take that or give it to you. You know, that is yours, and you need to take care of your body. So that's why we wanted to make this video with you guys. We thank you if you sat here and listened to
this far,
both of our stories.
Yeah,
and we know it's a little lengthy video, but we're really here to let you guys know that if you are having anxiety, if you're possibly having depression, please seek help. Whether it's through a therapist, which I'm proud to say that I see a therapist, and for those of you who follow me on social media, I make it very open that I do seek therapy. And
I'm going to start.
I didn't want to say that because I'm not sure she's comfortable.
No, yeah, of course. I've been knowing for a long time that it's something I should try because it'll most likely help me. And now I'm in the process of just getting like confirmation
and I'm so proud
if I have a place or not to go to, and so within the next few weeks I'll be starting that, and I think it'll be a good thing for me.
It's amazing. It's going to be a great thing for her. It's going to be a great thing for us.
But we also want to show you other things that help us.
Yes. So we have this little basket. My little friend, handy dandy friend here.
I just introduced her to this yesterday. Do any of you have these? They're head massagers, and it's like the best thing ever.
It's
you just
super cool.
Rub it on your head.
Show them how you do it.
Yeah, show them.
So you put it on her head, and then you go down.
It tickles a bit, but at the same time, it totally
it's like a spider.
Allows you to de-stress. Any tension you have, it allows you to relax.
It feels
you're gonna put me to sleep. Thank you.
So we have this little basket. So we have this thing to show you.
$3.99 at Marshall's. It's not expensive, y'all.
This let me say calendar. Lavender eucalyptus candle. I love to have candles. Just have the aromatherapy in the room.
Eucalyptus oil lotion.
Shea butter.
The lighting.
Right there.
There you go.
To the side. It's very helpful. We like to give each other massages like every day.
Oh yeah, massages definitely do help. Also,
if you guys have not seen this, you can get it at Bath and Body Works. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have it. It's a stress relief lotion that is wonderful. We have like 3 of these and we're running out. And just have other lotions. Honestly, just lotions.
Sometimes just smelling different things helps you relax, helps you ground yourself.
We have some essential oils here that we will put into our diffuser. If we want to just smell the room, you know, give it like a therapeutic environment.
And place it in your room.
Some bath bombs.
You can place it in your room, and there's different scents, and there's some for energizing, there's some for relaxation, there's some for stress, there's some for anxiety. And I think yesterday we went on a run. We love Marshall's. Marshall's is dangerous. And we bought
for those of you who saw our hide and seek video.
Like this video if you saw the hide and seek video at Marshall's. But anyway, we also bought a new body wash, which is aromatherapy, relax. I think it has lavender and eucalyptus, and we've tried it out and it's amazing. It smells so good, and it really does help you relax a little bit.
Yeah, so we have a lot of these little things. We also have a remote if you want to watch TV. But I brought this out to make a really quick point. A lot of people suffer from anxiety too because of how much time they spend on social media. I myself love Instagram. I love social media. I think it's great. Catch up with people's lives, post pictures, take your selfies, do your thing, hot girl summer. However, the more that you spend on these little gadgets of ours, it takes your mind away from reality and it takes your mind somewhere else. And I've heard from people, I've heard from professionals, it's not recommended to be on your phone more than 1 to 2 hours, even less than 2 hours a day, because it's doing something to our brain. And if all you're doing is being on your tablet, or your phone, you're not being active, you're not being present, you're not building relationships with the people around you. You could easily be ignoring the people around you, the people who love you, who care about you.
Simple things such as laughter, conversation with others will boost your energy, will boost your emotions, and will put you further away from anxiety.
So try your best not to be on your phone as much as possible.
If you don't know where to start because you have anxiety, start with social media. Try it out. If you don't know where to start, try it out. Let us know if it helps. or let us know if anything else we mentioned helps.
Yes.
And like we said at the beginning, reach out to us if you have any questions. If there's any way we can help you, we would love to, because we've been through it. We've been through different forms of it, and
we really wanted to make this video. We're being vulnerable. We're being as vulnerable as we need to show you guys that people who are happy, who are living their life, who are working, who are accomplishing their goals, they could still deal with anxiety. They can still deal with mental health problems. And I don't think that we share enough about it. We don't talk much about it. We're getting better at it. Don't get me wrong. We're getting better at it. But it's still very looked down upon, and we still don't share as much as we can. So that's why we made this video, for you guys to show you guys our little situations that we've been having, and for many years how we've been dealing with it. And if you guys have any questions, please DM us. Please comment down below if you guys have any questions or you'd like any personal advice. We would love to help you guys.
To sum it up, for me, what helps me is eliminating the time that I spend on social media. Breathing, really just allowing 5 minutes at least, which I need to do in my routine more often. But breathing, really just sitting down and reassuring yourself that you're okay. And one of the ways I do that is also the Calm app. It's a meditation app. You can pay for all that it has to offer, or you can use the free version, which allows a few meditation sessions, and they're about 10 minutes, and it really does help bring you down. It really works. So for me, that's what helps. For
me, I would just say exercising, number one, changing my diet, having less caffeine. The fourth would definitely have to be having sex. No. So for me, my favorite things to get rid of anxiety, like I mentioned, would be exercising, eating better, doing that Calm app, doing the breathing exercises. Just, that's it.
And the nasty. That's what she's thinking of. Nasty.
Anyways, it helps. It helps release energy, okay, and build positive vibes.
Yeah.
Anyways, sheesh. If you guys like this video, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And join the adventures, you guys. We hope to see you guys next video.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.